Okay, looks like we're on the play against Mr. Agrodunk. And our hand's fine. Couple Faraways, couple Jaces. Looks like the mirror, or similar. That means I don't want to draw. I hope he's not just playing straight blue-white, because that's really annoying. Leaving open 2 mana is pretty indicative of Azorius Charm or Syncopate. I'm gonna assume he has Syncopate since paying 2 life for an Azorius Charm is pretty bad. So I'm not gonna run this Jace out into a Syncopate. There's also a Turbo Fog deck that forwarded the most recent daily. Ooh, I ran out of lands. That's not very good. Which is pretty interesting. I don't know if it's extremely viable yet. I need to try it out. It did 4-0, but that doesn't mean everything. These cards are going to rot in my hand because I'm out of land. I'm going to make him pay for this because I want to resolve Jace. If he... so what's he's like, if he's going to do is pay 3, take my Syncopate, and then I'll get to resolve Jace, and then plus him. He takes Syncopate, obviously, so 2 counterspells to put a Jace in play is fine, I believe, because it lets me do something. If I let this resolve, he takes a Syncopate and then has Syncopate open for my Jace, and I don't get to do anything. I like get to kill his creature and have his Syncopate open for 2, so he can basically resolve anything. He can basically resolve anything now, but at least I cut him off the option of casting Jace. I do have to plus it because minusing it kills my Jace, but whatever. I need to draw land. Having a bunch of land is very good in control matchups. I do play 27, which is a fairly high amount for normal, like no key runes or anything, but I'm not drawing it. I'm probably going to kill his Sim Collector next turn. I want to start minusing Jace. Detention Sphere on Jace is pretty annoying. At least he can't cast his own. He can still Syncopate though, so I'm not going to just slam this other Jace. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whatever. He doesn't know I have Render Silent. I believe my hand at the time was Syncopate, Jace, Jace, far away, far away. It's pretty annoying. Countering it doesn't really do anything. I mean, if it resolves, he takes Supreme Verdict, or at least I would take Supreme Verdict, because having 2 creatures in play is really annoying against this deck, so I guess I'll just Render Silent it. That way he doesn't know my hand. And he can also, like, Psychic Strike back, but... okay. I guess I'll just resolve Jace here. Pretty sure he would have fought over that if he had anything. I'm gonna plus it again. I don't want to just lose Jace. And I need him to stick around in order to win this game, I think. Him having the Sim Collector's main deck is not good for me. He probably has Obsidots as well. Looks like he's just playing Aetherling. The beginning of next end step. That's pretty annoying. Not sure how to deal with that card. It's actually pretty impossible to deal with. I guess I'll just keep bouncing it, or trying to bounce it, until he gives up. Okay, drawing Sphinx Revelation is very good there. I really want the lands. I think the lands are better right now. So if I take the lands, I get to play things. If I take this Sphinx Revelation, I'm like heavily constrained on mana for a very long time. So I want a Verdict, and then bounce his Aetherling. Black, white, white, blue. Depending on what he attacks. If he attacks Jace, I'll probably bounce it, depending on how many times he pumps. Because you can't give this one hexproof. Yeah. It can only flicker itself. So he flickers it. I don't know what combats this. Like, this is a very good card. I'm not playing any because I didn't... It's really expensive. Like, it's very good in the control matchups because it's very hard to interact with and you can afford to spend a lot of mana on cards. But against aggro, 6 mana is so much if it's not like a... Actually, there's really not a 6 mana threat that stabilizes against control. It's mostly like Blood Baron and Angel of Serenity costs 7, but it stabilizes because it gets rid of 3 creatures as soon as it hits. Aetherling doesn't do anything when it hits. And yeah, you're obviously going to flicker it. And he passed his turn. Okay. I guess I'll just plus Jace. Keep flickering this Aetherling. Unless he taps out for Sphinx's Revelation. Then I will send his Aetherling away. I need to draw a Blood Baron or a... Actually, yeah, Blood Baron. I need something cheap to play. I think he's just sitting on a bunch of counterspells. He hasn't really needed to use any of them because I'm not doing anything. The Tension Sphere is not very good. I'll take the Revelation this time. Thank you. I think I'll let Jace die this time. I know I think he has Syncopate, but I'm out of options. I can't get rid of this Aetherling, so I need to draw my own threat. If this might just let him resolve his own Sphinx's Revelations, which I don't know if I'd like better, actually. Definitely does something. Maybe I should have Aetherlings on my board. They seem better against control than Obsidian. Well, that might not even be true. I think Obsidian would do a better job of killing me. No, I could kill Obsidian with a way. I can't kill this one. This card just doesn't do anything if you target it, though. Spinning cards is just like preventing damage to yourself. It's fine, I guess. I wish he'd hurry up and figure out what he wants to do, because my options are extremely limited here. So if I don't Sphinxes here, I have to, like, my Jace dies because I want to play this other one. So I play this Jace, and then he has a ton of mana open, but he's afraid to tap out a blue because of Aetherling. Understandably. I'll just pause it until he figures out what he's going to do. I think I had to play Sphinx Revelation here. I don't think there's another possible avenue. Like, playing an Angel's pretty loose, I think. Doesn't really give me enough. I get no creatures back, and I can't target Aetherling, so it's just like a 5-6 I can easily kill. Versus a 4-5 I can never kill. Okay, so my opponent syncopated, and I got countered. So what I'm going to do now is pretty much nothing. I'm going to play my Jace and minus it and try to draw a Blood Baron, I guess. I don't think the Psychic Strike does very much for me right now. I'd rather have lands. Like, I need to deal with Aetherling and counter spells, I'm just not going to be able to. Like, if I take the Psychic Strike this turn, I could play my land untapped and go to 15, then far his Aetherling and Psychic Strike his spell. But not taking Psychic Strike and taking lands make him think I have counter spells, 1, and 2, I have lands to play throughout my turns, which is very instrumental. Okay. Just gonna cast away in case he misclicks, it goes away instead of back to his hand, because I don't have a counterspell. He's casting something, okay. Probably should have played that land untapped in case he has another Syncopate, but I didn't count, but I'm pretty sure I can't cast this through Syncopate anyway. Now I try to race his Angel, or his Aetherling, and he might have Azorius Charms. He's only played 1. And this thing does 8 damage to me. This is unblockable. I'll take 4 or 5. I don't want to take 6, 7, or 8 though. I took 6 there. Why did he do that? Okay. I guess he just wanted it untapped. Which is strange, because it can't fly. Or he wants to Wrath. Okay. I could bounce my creature. Make him deal with it again. At the expense of dealing with his Aetherling. I'm not sure why I Wrath there. I guess I just got impatient. I should have waited for him. There's no way he casts the Azorius Charm out of turn. It's so loose. Nice Triz. Like, I was hoping he would F6, but that's like, I didn't really think he would F6. I just kind of hoped it would work. I wanted him to spin mana. I have no idea what I was going for there. There's like no way for me to beat this card if I don't have a threat of my own. I'm pretty sure I can out-trade it if I have Blood Baron. Like, he can't attack me. Otherwise, we're just trading 4 damage. I'm gonna concede. Let's go to another game. So I want Dispel's Psychic Strike. Verdict's pretty bad. Warped Physique's not gonna do it. Sin Collectors I definitely want. Probably want Detention Sphere. Far and away not exceptional. I don't want Detention Sphere. Detention Sphere gets Jace, and that's pretty much it. I could board in Obsidots instead of Blood Barons. 3 Obsidots. Instead of maybe a Charm. His main threat is Aetherling. I'm pretty sure he's just on all the Aetherlings. Or Obsidot. I can't deal with Obsidot with the Detention Sphere. So maybe take out the Detention Spheres, bring in Blood Baron, Obsidots. 6 threats, plus Jace. Try to ult Jace. Beat down with Sin Collector. It's pretty loose to board out Supreme Verdict, I think, because he's a bunch of Sin Collectors, but with my Sin Collectors plus Jace, I think I can deal with his nonsense. The Supreme Verdict was kind of a throwaway. I wanted to see if he'd F6, because I didn't think I could win that game. It's pretty much impossible to deal with Aetherling. But it's not that good against aggro decks, which is why I'm not playing it. I'm fairly sure it would be aggro dominated. I would love to play first. This hand's awful, it has 1 land in it. This hand has more than 1. Land, go. I like having a bunch of lands. He's on white-black. Currently. To keep a 2-lander. Okay, he drew an island. Or had one. I should have cycled the charm there. Even if I draw Jace, though, I don't think I'm playing it. Not as long as he has a blue mana. Oh, he's gonna jam Jace? That's so risky. I mean, it's gonna pay off because I don't have a counterspell. Sure. I guess he has Dispel. So he's going to play Jace with the spell backup, knowing if I have a counterspell he can dispel it, but not taking into account my great fortune of just drawing a dispel. So hopefully I draw... Ghost Council would be the best. Did not draw Ghost Council, unfortunately. So he knows my hand is Island Mystery card, but I didn't play anything when he was tapped out, so he knows I have nothing. The heck? Reap Intellect? Choose... I don't know what this card does. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You may choose X non-land cards from it and exile them. For each card exiled that way, extract them? That's pretty cool. It's like a very strange oriented version of slaughter games. It's actually good because you get the cards out of their hand, but you don't really get to pick what to choose. I guess it's like a late game control matchup only slaughter games. There's gotta be a better card than this. Looks like he's casting another Sin Collector. Oh, he missed his attack step. He just didn't attack me with Sin Collector. My opponent's having connection issues. I'm just gonna keep pausing and unpausing until he gets things sorted. So he cast his Jace, and he's playing Aetherling, so I can't give him that. If he takes Notion Thief Syncopate, actually it doesn't matter which file he takes, I'm pretty dead either way. I split Aetherling and then the two. Notion Thief seems pretty good. I just didn't want to find sideboard space for it. It seems like there are more generalized cards for the job that have multiple places. If this Aetherling resolves, I'm just going to concede. If he just like goes for it. Okay. My excellent job of not F6ing through a turn paid off. This resolves. Unfortunately, it shuts off my Sphinx's Revelations because he just wants to beat down. This kind of sucks. I guess I'll just cast away. Okay, finally drew that counterspell I've been bluffing the entire game. So my situation hasn't changed at all. I can still draw Jace to counteract his Jace, but pretty dead to this Notion Thief. I need to draw Sin Collector of my own, essentially. It's a revelation. Man, Notion Thief would be sweet here. I wonder how two Notion Thieves work. Like if I Notion Thief this, and then he Notion Thieves, which one goes first? I think it's whoever's turn it isn't. I don't know. I don't know how replacement effects worked. I mean, I'm just dead. I really want to concede. I can counter this, and then he resolves Aetherling, and I die. So, if I don't counter that, he doesn't cast or he draws 6 cards, and I die. Because he has 6 cards. He has 11 cards to my 0. He's 11 cards up on me. That's not comebackable, I guess. I can't come back from that. Nope, dead on board. Oh well, it's pretty tough. Like these cards are also, those cards are very good for me. I have access to neither one because I built my sideboard much differently. It's possible that Aetherling's the threat I want, but Blood Baron's just so good against the green, any white back partial decks and mono red. It's just such a versatile threat. I decided to go with that instead because Aetherling can just get swarmed. Like you cast an Aetherling on 6 mana open, they can try to dreadbore it, because you need to cast Aetherling when you hit 6 against some aggro decks, because you're dead otherwise, and they can removal spell it. Actually, it doesn't even matter, since it blinks itself, it just removes itself from combat. So against like the Swarm aggro decks, you play Aetherling to try and stabilize. It's like the worst creature you can possibly play. So if you have to draw a bunch of removal spells to stabilize prior to that, which is possible. But I like having self-sufficient creatures that can stabilize on their own but in matchups where you don't need to stabilize, such as the control matchups, Aetherling's like absolutely impossible to deal with for the opposition, because you play it and they can never get rid of it. It's all about the counterspell battle, and if you manage to resolve one, it's never going to go away, and you can have it forever. So that's essentially why I lost that one for just deck choice. I couldn't have done anything different about that, other than building my deck. And I mean, trying Aetherling was fine. I was geared more towards aggro decks than I was control. So I think the better thing to do would have put Aetherlings on my board, or have some plan for it, which is very hard because of the card. It's basically counterspell or bust, and sometimes you're just not in a position to counterspell. Yep, I think so. Changes, if you want to go more, I don't own Aetherlings right now because the set just came out, but I would see taking out moving Blood Barons to the board, just taking out Obzats completely from the board, and then putting in 2 or 3 Aetherlings main deck. I like the 2 Angel package because you just win a lot of matches free roll that way. But if you want to try out Aetherlings, I would take out the Blood Barons for sure, because you want to rely on your spells to clean up, and you don't really need Blood Barons to stabilize. So you just take out the Blood Barons, maybe take out one of the counter spells for another, either Detention Sphere, like an Agony's Embrace, something like that. Maybe Traumatic Rescue if you want. Just something that lets you stabilize until you can actually cast Aetherling. And then try to win off your unkillable Titan. That's a decent way to go about things. I chose a different route. Didn't quite work out for me. Blood Baron was very good against the green-white opponent I played against. And did it come up in the last match? I can't remember what I did in the third round. I don't remember. I think the third round was green-white, and I lost a game against the Jund aggro player. It was green-black. Blood Baron's also very good against green-black, but I played awfully, absolutely, completely awfully that match. Like, I completely forgot to plus chase one time. So play errors have a lot to do with deciding that outcome, though I think it was bleak anyway. But I'd still prefer to have Blood Baron in that matchup for sure over the Aetherling. But I mean, Aetherling's a good card, you can't go wrong playing with it, so if you want to play that, just play them. I'm not saying not playing Aetherling's wrong. I don't think I think playing Aetherling is fine. I don't think not playing Aetherling is bad. Like, I don't think this deck is bad because I'm not playing Aetherling. You see what I'm saying? So it's worth this kind of deck is worth a shot if you want to play against aggro decks. If you don't play completely terribly. If you want to try more, you want to rely on your spells, you think you can manage aggro decks other ways, like you don't need the Blood Baron crutch, then go for Aetherlings and just crush control decks all day. But those are basically the 2 builds of Esper I'm seeing right now. Hopefully one moves forward. I can see Sin Collectors in the main deck as well. We'll see as time goes on. Try to play different decks. I've got a whole new set to work with. A lot of good cards in this one. So I'll see y'all next time, hopefully with something sweet.